Recording starts.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. My guest today is back by popular demand. She did a fabulous cooking demonstration of Indian food last time, and you guys said you wanted her back as soon as possible. So we did not only book her for today, but for tomorrow only, because she's going to be doing a brilliant two-part demonstration. All of the recipes, of course, will be vegan, whole food, plant-based, oil-free, and sugar-free. But today she's going to be making a variety of chutneys, and then she's going to take what she made today and use them in the recipes tomorrow, where she's going to be making some snacks, some Indian snack food. And chutneys are so amazing. I always say that if you have trouble following a plant-based diet, it's because you haven't found the right sauce. And chutneys just make anything you make delicious. Please welcome back to the show, Shobha Swamy. I'm so excited about today's show because chutney to me is like Indian salsa, basically.
Exactly what it is. Namaste. Thank you very much, Chef AJ, for being here and for inviting me back again. I'm so excited to be here and to showcase to you different types of chutneys. We've picked some excellent recipes for you and some simple ones as well. Most of the ingredients you already have on hand. So let's get started. As you know, chutneys, like Chef AJ mentioned, are like salsa. Most of them are raw. And there are some just slightly roasted ingredients that we add, but most of it has a lot of raw ingredients. And from the north of India to the south of India, from the east of India to the west of India, every single state has their own cuisines, and they make different types of chutneys. They make chutneys out of carrots, even out of cabbage, even, and the list is long. There's a plethora of items you can use to make chutneys. Today, we'll begin with the simplest and the most common of all chutneys. Is popularly known as the green chutney or cilantro chutney, or in India, cilantro is known as coriander. So it's either make it with plain coriander or coriander mint combination also you can use if you have mint. Especially in the summertime, we have lots of mint growing in our backyard. And so that's what I have. A friend of mine gave me a bunch of mint. So today we're going to make cilantro mint chutney. It's a very simple recipe with just 4 or 5 ingredients, and it's so flavorful. It can be used on so many different things, including sandwiches, you know. So all I've done here is I've chopped up a whole bunch of cilantro, just roughly chopped. So add some cilantro into your blender jar. Okay, I won't take all of it. Otherwise, it'll take us so much time to get through all of this. And then, so I use about a whole bunch of cilantro, and the ratios are, adjustable. If you like more mint, add more and start with a little bit, and then you can always adjust it as you go along. And I use a jalapeno, and I'm going to just chop it a little bit so that it's easy for me to blend it. So I'm just going to chop it just a bit and add it just into threes. So you can add a jalapeno, or if you like it more spicy, you get those Thai chili peppers. You can use that too. And then I've added a small piece of ginger, just a small chunk. And this is just customizable. You can add as much or as little as you want. And then I have lime. You can add lime, just the juice of one whole lime. There you go. And then water it down, add a little bit of water, and you'll have amazing green chutney. And I'll tell you all the different things you can use it on and how we use it. So add a little bit of water. And I know, Chef AJ, you are salt-free, so you don't have to add salt. But, those of us who are addicted to salt can add as much salt as they want.
We found a wonderful new salt-free seasoning that we unveiled last week from Local Spicery that tastes just like salt, and it's made from kombu, believe it or not.
Wow. And what kind of spice is this kombu?
I'm not sure it's a blend, but it really does taste like salt. The gentleman that invented it, Nick DeVorn, was on the show on Monday, and it really does taste salty. It's kombu. It's just, I don't know how he does it, but he mixes things together that are herbs and sea vegetables and tastes like salt.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to buy and try it. So all you have to do is blend the salt.
I'll see if he'll send you a sample and maybe you can use it in one of your recipes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I can, make a video out of it as well. Yes, absolutely. So it's very simple. What we've put in here is cilantro, a little bit of mint, a small piece of ginger, and some lime, and anything to spice it up. Jalapenos I've put. If you don't want it too spicy, you can even use half a green bell pepper. Just gives it a green color and a nice flavor, but it won't be spicy. But if you like it more spicy, you can add some Thai green chilies. That's what we usually make it with, Thai green chilies. But for today's show, I especially went and got jalapenos so that, it's not as spicy. So all of this is all you do. Blend it all together. See if you need a little more water, you can add more water to it. And this chutney is amazing. If you like it a little thick, what we do is to thicken it up, we add a little bit of, traditionally we add peanuts to thicken it if you want it thick, or you can use these roasted chickpeas. Last time as well, I showed you on the show, these are roasted chickpeas available at the Indian store, no salt added, it's just plain roasted. And these are black chickpeas. They are the same kind as the white chickpeas, but they have a black coating on it.
Gina wants me to tell you she loves your YouTube channel.
Pardon?
Gina wants me to tell you she loves your YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you. Welcome. I have lots of videos still to be released. I have it all ready. So here you go. So here it is. In these small blenders, sometimes you need a lot more liquid to get them moving, but they look awesome. Look at this. It looks green. And can we show you how it looks? If we can bring the camera close by. Yeah. Yeah, here you go. Yeah. So this is the green chutney that we can use on bagels. You can use it to flavor hummus as well when you make hummus at home. There's so many different choices of how you can use it as a dip. You can use it as a salad dressing. There's so many different choices. And like I mentioned, you can use peanuts to thicken this, or you can use these roasted chickpeas that you can find at the Indian store, or I think you can find them at regular grocery stores as well anymore. Or you can use half an avocado as well. So that gives it a nice body and thickens it a little bit. And try to use as little water as you can as you make this chutney. So this is an amazing chutney. Tomorrow, you'll see all the uses. I also use it to line my pita bread, pita pockets. So I make a huge salad and have the salad in the morning. And if you don't want to eat the same salad in the evening, just layer a layer of hummus and a layer of green chutney on the other side of the pita, and then stuff it with your salad, and it makes an amazing, amazing, flavorful pita pocket. Okay, so we'll take this off, and I have all the rest ready as well to go. So the next one we're going to be making is a peanut chutney. So let me put this aside and swap these. Yeah, swap the blade on this. And so basically I'll show you all this, but chutneys are mix and match. This is an approximate, it's a specific recipe, but adjust the flavors and adjust the consistency to what you like. If you like more peanuts, you can put more peanuts. If you like less, you can put less. So the next one I'm going to make is a peanut chutney. And remember the idlis I made last time on your show? This
Yeah,
will go well
those
with that as well.
fantastic. Idlis. I love that name.
They are the best health food in India. They are steamed rice and lentil cakes, and they are so safe. All hospitals serve it, and all the cafeterias in the hospital serve it. And that's what I eat when I go back home. That's like my staple food because it has no oil, and it's just steamed, and it's eaten with, the only part is it's eaten with these raw chutneys. So when you travel, you have to be careful with raw stuff. But they also make a lentil dip that's called sambar that goes with this idlis. And so they both make an amazing combination. Whenever I travel to India, which I just got back 2-3 days ago, that's what I had everywhere I go. So because it's safe, it's vegan, it's oil-free, it's all of this. So I've taken about half a cup of peanuts. Okay, I'm not going to put too much in this because it's going to take so long to blend. So base is peanuts, couple of cloves of garlic, couple of similar pieces of ginger, 1 teaspoon of roasted cumin seeds. We use a lot of this roasted cumin seeds in our chutneys. So if you like lots of chutneys, just take a small batch of cumin seeds and then roast them and store them in a glass container, and they retain the flavor forever. They're really flavorful. So 1 teaspoon of this. And then, of course, our spice is always, either Thai green chilies or jalapeno chilies.
You roast your own spice. You roast your own spices, I take it.
Yes, I roast my own spices, and I also make my own cumin powder, my own coriander powder. I don't buy the store-bought because it is so much more flavorful if you roast your own spices and make it. So it has a special flavor. And the soup, the black bean soup you get at Panera, the main spice in that is this roasted cumin powder. You can make that exact same thing at home with roasted cumin powder, but then you have to roast your spices to get the aroma and get the right flavoring. Of course, you can always buy it at the store as well if you're in a hurry. Okay, so this is all you need. And where's my jug of water? Here it is. So add enough water. And this should be a nice thick paste. You'll be surprised to see that the peanut chutney will turn out white because it's white on the inside. Hope this blender can handle this. I think for that 1 jalapeno, it calls for a little more peanuts. But yes, there it is. It's all ready to go. We just transfer it to a small bowl. And this peanut chutney is amazing. This recipe is from my cousin. And she's married it into a family that's from another state. And this is a staple in the neighboring state of Andhra Pradesh. Where they make this chutney a lot. Kids love it because it's got peanuts. Of course, if you're allergic to peanuts, you need to find something else. But we can show you this. You can bring the camera closer. That'll be good. Yeah, there you go. So this is how it looks. Grind it up to a smooth paste and adjust the flavorings. If you like it more spicy, add a little more spice. If you like it a little more sour, add a little more lime or lime juice. Of course, if you want to add salt, it's your choice. You can add some salt. But this is the second chutney that I had. And this is the peanut chutney. Have you tried dosas, Chef AJ?
Yeah, they're fantastic. A question, Shobha, what kind of blender are you using?
Today, for convenience, I'm using this little magic bullet. but I have my handy dandy Vitamix for everything.
Nice. And there's a question, were the peanuts roasted?
Yes, they're dry roasted peanuts, correct. Yes.
And
what I do is I oven roast my peanuts, a big batch of it, so I can use it for various chutneys and other. There's a dry powder that we make, like a dry spice, dry chutney. We call it dry chutney powder, and we'll be showcasing that as well. So yes, that was a good point. Peanuts were roasted. That's very true. So this morning I roasted all the peanuts in my little oven. I put it in a big tray, and then for 300 at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes, and it roasts perfectly well. So there you go. So we have seen two chutneys, and along with this green chutney, another very popular chutney is date and tamarind chutney. The two main.
uh-oh. Is she frozen for you guys? She just froze for me.
Everybody to this tamarind fruit. So I went and got this tamarind concentrate that's available at the Indian store. So for this, it's another easy recipe. And this is the sweet chutney that you get at all the Indian restaurants. The green chutney is the one that we've already made. And let me just rinse this off. There you go.
Shobha, there's another question. What are the names of the rice cakes you eat in India?
So basically, they are the idlis, and there are different types of idlis.
Right, because some idlis have lentils in them also, right?
Idlis are typically lentils and rice. So we soak the lentils, a specific kind of lentils. And you get those lentils in a split form or in a whole form. And you can use either white rice or brown rice to make them. And traditionally, they're made with rice and lentils, only two ingredients. And we grind it to a really smooth paste and keep it overnight in a warm place to ferment. And it typically next morning, in 12 to 14 hours, it doubles in volume. And so it's a fermented food, and it's the staple across India. Typically made only in the south, but now everybody loves it. So it's available everywhere, the length and breadth of India. And there are different types of idlis also that we make other than the rice and the lentil traditional idlis. If you say idlis, it's always the traditional idlis with rice and lentils. But there are other types of idlis that are made with millets. There are other, and you can mix and match the lentils. You can add a couple of mung beans and other beans as well in your idlis. And then last time I made what is called rava idli. Rava is cream of wheat. So, and that's very popular too because it's flavored idlis. These rice cakes that are made with rice and lentils are simple and plain. They're only salted. They only have salt in them. But this rava idlis is already flavored. So we add ginger, we add the green chilies, we chop up a lot of cilantro and add onto it. You can grate carrots and you can grate any vegetable and add. And even for the regular idlis, to entice children to eat, people grate all the different vegetables and add it to the batter and then steam it. That way it can be a finger food and you can eat a whole idli just by itself. What my mother used to do when we were going to school was called stuffed idlis. She would put a little bit of the idli batter, and then on top of that, if you had the potato curry, the curry that's inside a samosa, the potato curry that's inside a samosa, we make a curry like that and put a tablespoon of that on top. And then you put a tablespoon of batter again on top. So it becomes like a sandwich idli. So which is easy to eat in schools. And if you take it to school, then you don't need all these chutneys and all these other condiments and all these dipping sauces because it's flavored already. And it's got a little bit of spice, a little bit of sour, and lots of cilantro, and it's flavored really well, the stuffing. So we make stuffed idlis as well. My mother used to make that when we used to take it in our lunch boxes to school.
An idli sandwich sounds delicious. Shobha, Ruth wants to know what's on your apron. I know, but I'll let you tell everybody.
Yeah, so I am certified through the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, a not-for-profit organization based out of Washington, D.C., headed by Dr. Neil Barnard, that you are all familiar with. And so I'm a Food for Life instructor trained by the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. And I also teach at a medical school here in Atlanta called Morehouse School of Medicine. And I teach alongside Dr. Rooke, who's an amazing plant-based doctor, and a huge shout out to Dr. Rooke. I've been working with her for over 4 to 5 years now, I think. And we have an amazing time putting classes together, making new recipes, and adapting recipes that people already have and their family favorites. So it's once a week classes. And right now it's free, it's on Zoom. So, we can share the link eventually perhaps, and join us for the Morehouse School of Medicine classes on Zoom run by Dr. Rooke. And what else? I'm also certified in plant-based nutrition through Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies, like many of the instructors are. So let's get going with this chutney. This is the sweet chutney that the kids love. My husband loves this. He loves this on his salad. He uses it as salad dressing. He puts it on his toast. He just loves this sweet tamarind chutney. And for the most part, we always have it at home. If I don't have this, then he uses the date paste that you get at Costco and everywhere else. So he uses that on his salads. He has to have something sweet to go with his salads. So even if I make the green salad dressing, he adds a little bit of this as well. So basically, you would take about maybe a cup of dates. I'll use about half a cup today so that things go a little faster. And then I'm using this tamarind concentrate just to make it easy for our viewers. But traditionally, we use the tamarind fruit. So the tamarind fruit is a soft, pulpy fruit, and it's dried. So you will need to soak it for about 20 minutes before you use it. And it grinds down to a nice paste. And it's a very sour fruit. So, and this concentrate now is very concentrated. So you want to use just maybe start with quarter teaspoon, not too much of it at all, because little will go a long way. So we need that sour taste and then the sweet taste. And this friend I'm working with, she was telling me we call this Chatpata Chutney. So the main ingredients are date and tamarind. Of course, we add a little bit of salt. And today I'm going to add a little bit of cumin powder that's freshly ground at home, like I was mentioning to you. So that's the main flavoring in this, is the fresh ground cumin powder. And it tastes and it smells amazing. Okay. And then we add what is called Chaat Masala. Now, this Chaat Masala is an equivalent of the, you have this Tajin the little bottle. Is that how it's pronounced? T-E-J-I-N. You get it in all the grocery stores. You get it, people put it on fruit. And I think it's like a Latino spice blend. It's a little sour. It's got a little bit of spice and a little bit of salt in it. So this chaat masala is a blend of a few different spices, but we typically buy it at the store. And kids like to put it on fruits. You can put it on your salads. It adds a good flavor. It's got that kala namak. Are you familiar with kala namak, Chef AJ?
No, I'm not, but I am familiar with the spice that you put on fruit. And they actually do make a salt-free version. Dylan Holmes from Well Your World makes a salt-free blend of that type of spice.
Oh, wonderful. So
yeah.
This kala namak is a special kind of salt, also called black salt, when you translate it to English. And it adds the smell of kind of like sulfuric acid. So when people make eggs, they add a little bit of this kala namak, like tofu eggs or tofu scramble or the just eggs that people use. Then they sprinkle a little bit of this kala namak. I think there's a buzz about this kala namak all across Facebook and all these other social media where people have discovered this, that it will give you an eggy smell. And so they don't miss their, egg dishes, and they can add this. So pretty much that's all it is. I put a little bit of tamarind and date. That's the main combination. And then the spices I use is a little bit of cumin powder. You can add salt if you want, and then a little bit of the chaat masala. And if you like it a tang spicy, it's kind of a spicy, sweet, salty kind of a sauce or chutney. So you can add a little bit of red chili powder as well. So adjust to your taste. If you don't like it spicy, you can skip the red chili powder, especially if you're making it for the kids. Skip it totally, because you can keep this totally sweet, and you can keep the green chutney spicy for, to balance out the flavors if you want it spicy for the adults. That's all it is. It makes a thick paste. You can water it down. And again, like I mentioned, adjust the spices, make it, tangy and sweet, and a tad salty as well. So I'm waiting to try this salt substitute.
Yeah, I'm going to contact Nick. Also, I wanted to mention that thanks to you, Dr. Jennifer Rooke is going to be on the show on Sunday, August 6th.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I can't wait to watch the show. Yeah, so nice. That's awesome. She is just amazing. She's been plant-based for, I think, more than 25 years, 25, 30 years. And she's got such a good plethora of information and all the research that she does. It's awesome. So I'm so glad to be connected with her, because every Wednesday when we have classes, I get an update on, how to use food as medicine all over again with all the details,
Does
So
Dr.
here
Do you happen to know, in case there are people that are living in that area, does Dr. Rooke take patients still?
Yes. Yeah. Me and my husband are her patients.
That's fantastic.
And that's the best part, because it's, how such a maze it is. And some of my clients find it so difficult, because many of the doctors are not very aware of plant-based nutrition and how and what we can do to, reverse or prevent diseases. So I've started sending all my clients as well, who take a consultation from me. I have a private consultation as well. And I send them all to Dr. Rooke. I'm also soon to be connected with another doctor in my area, who's a young doctor. I think she's graduated maybe 5-8 years ago. And she's certified in lifestyle medicine. And the two of us are going to have classes for her patients. So I can't wait.
Is she plant-based herself?
Yes, 100% whole foods plant-based.
Well, could you refer her to me for a future episode? I mean, I'd love to have her on the show, maybe with you or even separately.
Yes, absolutely. I'll recommend. Definitely. I'll introduce you via email. Leah Macklin is her name. And she's not too far from me, just about 10 minutes from home. So I'm so looking forward to starting classes at her facility.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah, she's a young doctor and chanced upon all of this, and she's absolutely ready to share it with her patients. So here's that. It's very thick. Typically, we would water this down. And that's all you need to do. Kids love it. And like I said, the big kid at home loves it. So it's thin it down, because dates, as they sit, the pulp in the dates it has an amazing flavor with that chaat masala and roasted cumin seeds powder. Yeah, so you would need to water this down even more. Tomorrow you'll see how watered down it is and how we'll use it. Okay, perfect. Now we'll set this aside. So we have now made 3 chutneys. One's the traditional green chutney with mint and coriander. And now we have the date and tamarind chutney, which is the sweet chutney. And then the third one we made was the peanut chutney. And here's a chutney that is just simply amazing. And this recipe, you can substitute the vegetables for anything you want. There are people, we traditionally also make coconut chutney that I made for the show that we had previously. And some people are allergic to coconuts, and some people who have IBS, they either are allergic to coconut or it bothers them. So surprisingly, one day I had made a chutney for idlis with zucchini. And I had my cousin's wife who was visiting us, and she came by and said, I can't have the coconut chutney. I said, you're in luck, because today I've made chutney without using any coconut, and I've used only zucchini, and let's see if you like it. And she absolutely loved it. So since then, we have been making the zucchini chutney at home quite often. But today I'm going to showcase to you with these bell peppers. So I just cut these bell peppers roughly into big chunks, put them on a silicone mat like this, and roast it in the oven. It gets nice brown spots. So I have onions here. I have about half an onion, two red bell peppers, chopped up into big chunks, and then a few cloves of garlic. There's garlic here. So I roasted all this ahead of time. I hope you can see this. And basically that's what we blend, along with a couple of other spices, which I'll introduce you to. Most of the chutneys have, a very similar flavor profile that you can, add and subtract things. So I'll be using all of this in this jar. Find another jar. I have all these jars left over from my kids when they were in college. I don't know, this one was an orphan, didn't have a home. So I said I'll use it for my YouTube videos, though I have the huge Vitamix. That makes even more louder noise than this one. So it's nice for videos. And it's also nice for people who have the small blender to be able to make this. Maybe it'll take a little longer, but comes out absolutely fine. And once it's roasted, it's much easier to blend to a smooth puree. So I'll be adding all these roasted onions. They smell amazing. So I have onions, garlic, and red bell pepper today. You can substitute for that red bell pepper. You could use zucchini, just lightly roasted like that. You could use yellow squash. You can use carrots, cabbage, anything, any other vegetable of your choice. Again, we use these dry roasted cumin seeds. They add an amazing flavor. We add a couple of small pieces of ginger, almost the size of a clove of garlic, a couple of pieces of that. And the garlic has already been roasted, so I'm not going to use any more of the raw garlic. And then to make it spicy, I have these red chilies that are available at the Indian grocery store. Just like at the Latino grocery store and the Mexican grocery store, you can find so many different types of dried chilies. Same thing with the Indian grocery store. You have, we don't have that many varieties here, but in India, of course, they grow them. But in the Indian stores here, you have a couple of them that are kind of smooth, and those are the spiciest. So I have dry roasted them. Typically, they roast it in a little bit of oil, like a few drops only, but I just dry roast them and put them in a jar and keep it ready, and so they're ready to go. So maybe for us, we'll use 3, otherwise 2 is good, because these are really spicy. They're way more spicy than jalapenos and other things. So be careful as you use them. So, and for sour, so here in chutneys, we balance a little bit of sweet from the onions and the red bell peppers with the spicy from the red chilies, and then the flavors from the garlic, the ginger, and the roasted cumin seeds. And for sour taste, we add a little bit of lime or tamarind. I didn't use much of tamarind today, just so that it's easy for our viewers to make this at home without having to run and get specific ingredients that they may not use so much of, Even I think now, working moms and everybody, you can buy the tamarind concentrate is what I've got, but you also get something called the tamarind paste. And there are a couple of brands of that tamarind paste. For example, the Lakshmi brand, which is really good. It's an extracted paste of tamarind, and they just bottle it up. So it's good to go right away for us. And, when I was working, that's what I did. And I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, Chef AJ. I'm a trained automotive electronics engineer by profession. I have a bachelor's and a master's in computer science. And I worked in the automotive industry for 22 years on cars such as the Dodge Viper, the Dodge Challenger, all these fast cars. So I had a blast working in the automotive industry and absolutely loved my job. But I've switched.
I just want to tell you, Gina says that every time she eats Indian food, her tongue literally dances.
Oh, wonderful. That's the case with us. It's hard for us to eat food that's not flavored and not spicy,
It's so good. So guys, she's coming back tomorrow and going to use what she made today to make Indian snacks, also oil-free and sugar-free.
Yeah, I can't wait to show you because most of our snacks are deep fried and people just love it. I mean, you won't believe that's, I think, the biggest problem we have is to stay away from these snacks and appetizers, Every party, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you meet people, they're all eating this fatty, oil-filled, deep-fried snacks, So I can't wait to show you, and I hope many more people get to, watch this episode and make these kind of snacks at home versus the traditional deep-fried oily snacks. Because I just got back from India. My family, my cousins, my uncle. I lived with my uncle, and they all love all the deep fried snacks. What can I say? This is an amazing color. It's red in color, and it's really, really pretty. I'd love to show you how this looks. Let's put this away. Yeah, so this is red bell pepper chutney.
That is amazing. God, I could see putting that on like zucchini noodles or just so many different things.
Absolutely. You can put a little dollop in a soup and, spice it all up really well. You can put it on a bagel with hummus on one side and this chutney on another. We usually have chutney for our bagels, That's what, and this would be a nice bread if the bagel companies would make it and, offer it in the store even. But like you mentioned last time, I'm talking to Dylan and hopefully we can bottle these pretty soon.
Oh my God, that'd be absolutely amazing because they're good on everything.
Yes. So today I have one more really special chutney here. It is made with mangoes. Okay.
You're literally doing every food group of chutney. You're doing legume, you're doing fruit, you're doing vegetable, you're hitting everything. That's amazing.
Exactly. You're right. Because this is, I think, sold as a relish in regular American grocery stores. If you see any Indian relish, this is what that is. So it's made out of raw mangoes. So we buy this at the Indian store. It's not the same as the green mangoes you get at the American grocery stores. They're soft and pulpy on the inside. This is really hard. It's really difficult to cut. You need, good muscle power. And, for me, I need enough height to be able to leverage the, force to cut through this. So this is what it looks on the inside here. There's the seed in the center, as we all know, for mangoes. So you kind of stay clear of the center. about an inch in the center, and then cut two sides on either side, and then cut around the what do you call it? The seed. So this is again Chatpata, which is tangy and sweet and salty. So this is cooked and made on a stove, which I'll show you. Do we have enough time?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a question. I can't find it right now, but it was from Bethany about, do you have a good online source for Indian items?
Oh, online, to buy everything online. I think most of our grocery stores are online. And the most common grocery store all across the United States, they have about 72 outlets all across the US, and they're called Patel Brothers. Patel Brothers, and you can check if they deliver online. They used to all across, all during the COVID time for the last 2-3 years. All of the Indian grocery stores used to deliver online. So, and your neighborhood grocery store may deliver too still. I don't know. Just try it out. I just like to go to the grocery store because then you get to see the new things that have come. Then you get to see what's on sale. For example, guavas were on sale when I went to get this mango. I just got it this morning because last night I had planned all my chutneys. And as I went to bed, I said, oh, this will be a good one to make. And so I swapped it for another chutney I was going to make in the middle of the night. So this morning I had to go and get this mango. And so I saw these guavas. If you know what a guava is, it's a fruit, tropical fruit. And it has the highest vitamin C, even more than oranges, if you can believe that. So, so that's why I like to go to the grocery store. This thing makes a whole lot of noise. I hope you can hear. So basically, let's get started. I have chopped up some of this. It's very hard to chop as well. But I have a tool that I use to chop it into fine little squares. So we start actually not with this. I should be starting with my dry spices. And this one has a whole bunch of spices. Here you go. So as you can tell, we use a lot of these little bowls at home. So I have tons of them. They're called katoris, and we eat our dal in this. So it comes in handy to keep all the spices together. So let's start with something you already know, dry roasted cumin. So you would roast that a little bit on a hot stove. And then we use fennel seeds in this. So you would add about the same quantity of fennel seeds. And fennel seeds are an amazing digestive. We eat fennel seeds right after our lunch or dinner, just to help aid the digestion process. And then Ayurveda has this amazing coriander, cumin, fennel tea that they make. It's just made out of these three powders. And that's amazing as well. And it's very good for our bodies. So I have a friend who's an Ayurvedic doctor. Maybe I can introduce her to you as well. Chef AJ, she's from India. She used to live here in Atlanta, but now lives in India.
Oh, I'd love to. Please. Thank you. And people are asking, will the recipes for the chutney be on your website?
Yes. I'm sorry they haven't gotten updated as yet, but please check back in a couple of days. The person who helps me with my website, she's not feeling well. She's sick, so she couldn't update it. But I'll put all these recipes on my website. So please check back. Okay. So right now I've added cumin seeds and then fennel seeds. And then I'm adding these carom seeds. Do you know what these are? These carom seeds. Have you heard of this?
I don't think so.
Wow. So these are, they look 1/3 the size of cumin seeds. And they have a very distinct flavor. And these, it's called ajwain in Hindi and omam in many of the southern languages. We have a plant that many people have at home as well, and we make chutney out of their leaves of this plant as well. And this is not only a digestive, it's also soothing for the stomach. So we use this for tiny babies. We boil water with these seeds and then strain the seeds out. And this is the kind of the gripe water that you used to get for little babies. That's what this is, homemade gripe water. So this is called carom seed, C-A-R-O-M. And they have an amazing flavor. I'll be using some of that tomorrow too, and I'll show you. So we've added 3 of these things now, and then whole black pepper, just a few whole black pepper kernels, and then a few cloves. They add an amazing flavor as well. I have an interesting story about cloves. I tasted a special kind of sugar-free ketchup from one of the specialty stores here, and I love their ketchup. And read through the ingredients, and I found out they've used cloves in there. Cloves are also medicinal. As you know, clove oil is really good for any dental problems, or they can circumvent dental pain or anything till you can get to the dentist. So cloves are amazing, and you can just suck or chew on one. They are a mouth freshener as well. I have a small case of cloves and fennel seeds in my purse at all times. So instead of chewing on chewing gums or, things like that that are not good for the environment, this is the best thing to chew on. Okay. So they're a good substitute for chewing gum. Fennel seeds and cloves. Okay. So now I have a little bit of cilantro powder. We call it coriander powder. So here you go. And then, of course, turmeric. So turmeric, as you all know, has a lot of medicinal properties, antibacterial, antiseptic, anti-inflammatory. So many wonderful uses of turmeric. But less is more. So just use it for your cooking. When you cook lentils, put like a 1/4 teaspoon of it. So here's red chili powder. So this is just to spice it up. It's tangy, and it has dates to sweeten it up. So it has a combination of all this. I think I got to get a little faster. And I add my handy dandy big red chilies as well. We use this for seasoning. So we roast all these spices just a bit till all the aroma is released. And then add the chopped up mango pieces, okay, to it. And then we'll be adding a paste of dates and raisins. That's what we use to sweeten it. Traditionally back home, some people use sugar, or some people use what is called jaggery, which is a raw form of sugar, but it's more like molasses. It's more hardened molasses. But since we won't be using any of those sweeteners, we'll be using, fruit as sweeteners. Yeah. So that's what we'll be making a paste of this and adding, and run it all together. Let it all come to a nice boil, and it all thickens with the date paste and the raisin paste. And here's the chutney that's all ready to go for you to see. And it's sweet and tangy, and we've added cinnamon sticks. We've added so many of these flavorings. And this is amazing. Again, you can have this on toast, on bagel. Kids would like to use it as a relish or a dip. It comes out really amazing. This is something that we cook. All the other chutneys were just raw chutneys. This is the only one that we cooked. Are we up on time, or how are we
No,
doing?
you're fine. You are absolutely fine. Gina says she loves your, I guess, did you do an Indian store tour on your channel?
Yes, I have. Yes. I have an Indian store tour on my channel.
Yeah. Bethany says, people say it's the oil, but it's just the heat that brings out the flavor of the spices, the way you toasted them in the pan without oil.
Exactly. And I know I showed this to you last time as well, but let me showcase to you this. All these spices. These are all used for seasoning. So once you make all these chutneys, maybe we'll bring all the chutneys together here so that, you can see all the ones that I've made. Here is the peanut chutney. Where's the green chutney? So this was the first one we made, green chutney. Then here's the peanut chutney. Here's the red bell pepper chutney. And then here's the tamarind date chutney. Right, see, look, it's thickening as it sits. And then here's this mango chutney. So we have 5 different types of chutneys. 2 are sweet and 3 of them are savory. Okay. And so the tempering or seasoning that we put for some of these chutneys, not all. This green chutney really doesn't need any tempering. It's the most common chutney that is used in almost every Indian restaurant, and especially the snacks. It's used as a dip. It's simply amazing. And we have this all the time. So these 2 chutneys, if you can bring it closer, these 2 chutneys, the green chutney and then the tamarind date chutney, the sweet one, I always have at home. So what I do is I make a bunch of this and then freeze it in ice cube trays. So whenever you want, it's just my husband and I now. The girls are gone and, they're on their own. So I just thaw a couple of cubes of chutney, and then I can use it for anything I want. So that's how I typically have these. So here's a combination of all these chutneys. And here's the seasoning. Like you were saying, we roast all the spices. So I can show you, these are what are called curry leaves. And I typically didn't use them today just to keep it simple. But curry leaves are a special kind of leaf that we use for seasoning and tempering, available at the Indian grocery stores only. This is typically also roasted in a little bit of oil, but I have dry roasted it and kept it ready to go. Then our handy dandy cumin seeds that we all love so much, already roasted, ready to go. Then these red chilies, already roasted, ready to go. So it's very easy for me to make chutneys. I just mix and match a few of these, and since they're all roasted already, and I do the same with peanuts too. I have a bottle of peanuts that are in my pantry that's already roasted, ready to go. So if I want to thicken any of these chutneys, I can add peanuts. And if you have a peanut allergy, you can use sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, any one of this, or even, like I mentioned, avocados, perfectly good avocados. You can use that if you want to avoid nuts as well. You can use avocado to creamy, make it more creamy and thicken it up and others. And they use a lot of mustard seeds in a chutney tempering. And again, these are roasted. And these mustard seeds pop like popcorn. So you just have to dry roast them, but we have to be very careful because, they can burn very easily. They're very tiny. So these are the black mustard seeds that are available, I think, only in the Indian grocery stores. But the American grocery stores have the, yellow colored mustard seeds. Ours are the black, tiny ones, very teeny, tiny. Then these are a couple of lentils, typically used in South Indian cooking for seasoning. So the chutney that goes with idli is typically tempered with these kind of lentils. One of them is like the lentils out of chickpeas, chana, it's called chana dal. And then the other one is called urad dal. I quite don't know their English names. This is what we call them all the time in the stores. That's what they're called. And it's named in Hindi. So, and even in all the Indian languages, it's very similar. Like the language we speak at home, Tamil, it's called ultam parpu. So the parpu means dals in Tamil. And all we, as you know, we have a plethora of dals. Any color, you name it. And each dal can be is sold in 4 different ways. You split, then with the outer covering, and then split with the outer coat intact. So many different combinations of each dal. And here I have roasted sesame seeds. That's another thing you can use. If you're not allergic to sesame seeds, you can use that to thicken your chutneys. But most of these come out really good. Peanut chutney is really thick on its own. In fact, the onion red bell pepper chutney is pretty thick. You don't really need it to be thicker anymore. So here we conclude our session, and I can answer questions if you have any, or if the viewers have any.
Yeah, well, I want to tell you, somebody's watching all the way from Kenya.
Oh, yes, that's wonderful. That must be my friend Sangeeta. She's visiting her mom then.
Caroline.
Oh, Caroline Akrut is watching. Oh, hi, Caroline. I hope you're doing better. So
And
wonderful.
Gina says, did you say there was a liquid tamarind?
Yes, liquid tamarind. That's the concentrate.
And she wanted to know what the brand was.
So this is what I got yesterday at the grocery store, Indian grocery store. It's a Tammy Corn, it's called, and it's tamarind concentrate. But there's another brand called Lakshmi brand, and it comes in a glass jar. I couldn't find it yesterday, so I just, settled for this. But that's, it's not as much of a concentrate as this one. That's more a tamarind paste, whereas this is more of a tamarind concentrate. So use very little of it. Okay. And it's an acquired taste. So be careful how much you use. I would suggest, if you're trying tamarind for the first time, to buy that Lakshmi brand tamarind paste versus this concentrate. This is really strong.
Great. Let's see if there's any other. Oh, here's a question from Francine. How long can chutney be kept in mason jars and refrigerated?
That's a very good question. This cooked chutney can last you at least 3 weeks since it's all cooked. But many of these raw chutneys, or some of this is, roasted in the oven. So they last you maybe perhaps 5 to 7 days. But these raw chutneys, best to consume them maybe within 3 to 4 days. That's about it. That's why I freeze mine. So when I make it, make a little bigger batch of it, and then I freeze it. That way you don't have to take out the blender and all these ingredients all over again. Yeah. So they last about 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator. Yeah. See, that's the challenge we're going to face with making it with Dylan and bottling them. We haven't got to that stage yet. So we're going to try and see how we can do this. Sometimes cooking them to high temperatures and bringing them to high temperatures may lose their, they're like a salsa. So we have to figure that out.
Nice. We have somebody watching from True North, Allison. So she's probably fasting and watching a cooking demo.
Oh, wow. Wow. I was fasting yesterday. Every fortnight, every 2 weeks, we have a fast in the Indic system, handed down from our Vedic system of the waxing and waning of the moon. So every 15 days, we have one day called Ekadashi where we fast. And so yesterday I was fasting all day while I was getting all this prepared and ready. So today I get to eat it.
Wow, that's fantastic. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with them tomorrow. I mean, it's just such a pretty presentation, all the different colors.
Thank you. Maybe we can show a close-up of all these chutneys. Move this to the back. Yes, there you go.
Oh my God, I want them right now. Why do you have to live so far away?
When I visit LA, we'll definitely stop by and see you.
Well, I wouldn't stop by there because I don't live in LA anymore. I'm in Northern California.
The way Northern California. Okay.
Yeah, up near Sacramento. But just so you know, come here, please. I would love to try your food. It looks amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd love to do that. Yes, I have cousins who live there. Definitely, it's time to visit them. Definitely.
Yes, please do. Question: what type of bindi are you wearing?
What type of what? Bindi am I?
It's nice.
Oh, this is a bindi or a tilakam that most men as well as women wear all across India. And today I have worn a small, the modern version of it is a sticker bindi or a sticker tilakam, but it's indicative of an association with the divine, and associates with the third eye of Shiva as well. So when we greet each other, so our focus is in the center, and it brings a focus to the person that you're watching. So this is a tilakam or bindi that both males and females wear all across India. And today, of course, I've worn a sticker one, but traditionally at home, I have a powder. It's made out of flowers, and then it's made out of turmeric, and it's made out of everything organic. And traditionally, that's how it's made, and it's made in powder form. And I use a little toothpick kind of thing to, like a popsicle stick, to center it and make a nice circle out of it.
Very nice. That's so cool. How long does it take you to put it on?
Oh, just a few seconds. I really dress up quickly. I don't spend too much time in front of the mirror. I like, easy, quick, up on the go.
That's great. And your recipes are pretty easy and quick too. I mean, they really aren't complicated, which is nice.
Yeah, I made a few of these chutneys. We do use some lentils and other ingredients, but I try to keep it simple so that, you can make it with what's available in your pantry and in your homes.
Absolutely. Well, we are so excited to have you back tomorrow. This was such a great idea. We've done this once before with a chef named Vicky in Michigan, where she came one day and then repurposed it the next day. So I am very excited to have you back tomorrow.
Yes, same here. I'm looking forward. Yeah, we've got most of the things ready to go, and I can't wait to show you.
Great. Well, everyone is saying in the chat, you're a star. You really do wonderful presentations, and I'm sure your food tastes as amazing as it looks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chef AJ. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. And I'm honored to be here. And we made 5 chutneys today. We'll make 5 snacks tomorrow. So come back and join us tomorrow.
You better come back, everyone. Thanks so much, Shobha. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching and all the people who've been helping me on this journey.
Right. Well, you're doing a great job.